Welcome back to Practice, where we fuse research and culture to help you develop the mindsets, habits, and skills that you need in order to live out your purpose with confidence. I'm your coach, Dr. Reese, and it's time for us to get better, y'all. Let's grow. Today in Practice, we talking about betting on yourself. And this is one of my favorite topics to talk about. And what's interesting is it's been going up. Like, you hear a lot more folks, at least for myself, when I'm listening to podcasts and interviews, and everybody's like, I just had to bet on myself. I just had to bet on myself. I just had to bet on myself. So even though it's easy to hear people say it, what does it mean to actually bet on yourself, and why is it important? That's what we're talking about today. By the end of this show, my hope is that I can convince you to do that very thing, which is to bet on you. Reason being is because you are the bag. And the B in bag stands for bet on yourself. So let's get into it. When you think about betting, what comes to mind? Like, what are some of the things that pop up? I think for a lot of folks, it's obviously gambling. Sports betting is massive right now. So massive, let me give you some stats. Betting in the United States, legal sports betting, should I say, generated about $13.7 billion in revenue. That's a lot of money. So legal sports betting generated about $13.7 billion in revenue. This is in 2024 on nearly $150 billion in accepted bets. And both are record highs, over 20% growth. And so listen to this. Globally, the online bet sporting segment is projected to grow nearly $50 billion between 2024, so 2 years ago, to $67 billion by 2027, next year at the time of this recording. That's a lot of money. Like, we talking big B's of you don't knows. Like, when I think of betting, I think of, let me see, it's risk. When I teach this class, or when I teach in general, I always talk about betting on yourself because you are the bag, and the B stands for bet on yourself. And so it always comes up, and it's so interesting to hear people's thoughts. The first thing that people think about when I talk about betting yourself, and they say it's risky. Betting on yourself is risky, but betting on yourself is one of the highest forms of self-love. Betting in and of itself is risky, but betting on yourself is one of the highest forms of self-love. Reason being is because you're telling yourself, I'm willing to take a risk on you. How dope is that? Like, you are telling yourself, I'm willing to take a risk on you. I'm willing to risk it all for you. And if you're not willing to risk it all for you, who will? Now, there are some folks in your life, in your village, who should be people who also believe in you and who bet on you and help raise you up in that way. But the more that you bet on you, it'll increase other people's willingness to want to bet on you as well. Like, when you're somebody who shows that you're willing to take a risk on you, and you're willing to put in that work, and you know this is going to increase other people's thought process and willingness to want to bet on you, because it shows your work ethic, it shows your commitment, it shows your vision, it shows your energy, it shows your effort, it shows all these different things. And when you do that, other people are going to be like, oh, cool. Because when you bet on you, regardless of how many L's you take, you're going to end up with the dub. So let's talk about what that looks like really quick. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the guy on there, he actually used to have I don't remember his name. His name is Dan something. And he used to have an online betting, gambling thing that he did. And he talked about how the house, like, he was speaking about Vegas, and he was talking about how the house is 53-47. And he mentioned nobody's ever going to actually win over the long haul when it comes to gambling at a casino, because it's 53-47. House 53, you 47. And he said that when the house is at 53 and you're at 47, yes, you're going to win sometimes if you play in the short time. But if you play long enough, which is why they want you to play for a certain amount of hours in order to be able to get free stuff, which is at least 4 hours. is because they know if you play that long, you're eventually going to lose because the odds are against you. Now, in the short run, you going to win, which is cool. They can afford that. But in the long run, you going to take some L's and they're going to end up winning because you're spending more money on multiple different things. So when I thought about this, when it comes to betting on ourselves, I'm like, you know what? If I believe that I'm the bag, I believe that you are the bag. We are not just the better, we are the house because you are the bag. So even if the odds are 53 to 47 when it comes to betting on you, you're the better and you're the house. So I'm going to take the bet on me because I'm also the house. So there's going to be some L's for sure. But more times than not, it's 53, baby. I'm winning out every single time. Even when I'm losing, I'm winning. Because even when I'm losing, I'm learning. Because that's the mindset, is we want to fail. We want to push the challenge. We want to push and get that friction. You have to. But you'll never be on either side of the coin if you don't take the bet. So in real gambling, that's what it looks like, 53-47. But when it comes to gambling with your life, it's probably sort of the same. But because you are the bag, because you are the house, when you take bets on you, yeah, you're going to take an L, but you're also going to get some dubs. And the longer you play, this is the key piece. The longer you play, the more you bet, the more you're going to win because you are the house and you're betting on you. Man, that to me, I don't know about y'all, but that makes me smile. And it makes me happy because when you think about life through being a sense of a game, and you understand how to play, and you understand that betting on yourself is the only way that you're ultimately going to win, it shifts your perspective. Because I want you to think about it this way. If these numbers line up, and I'm looking at my computer here to the left, if you think about 13.7 billion in revenue, 150 billion in accepted bets, that means a whole lot of humans bet 150 billion in accepted bets. And it's going to be climbing to 67 billion in projected growth, right? And so think about this. If this many people are willing to bet on others, why do we have such a big problem with people betting on themselves? It's easy to bet on other people. It's easy to do sports betting. It's easy to go to the casino and bet. It's easy to bet on so many other different things. The reason why betting on yourself is a form of self-love is because it tells you, I believe in you. It's so much easier to bet on other people. It's so much easier to bet on other situations because when we do that, there's a lack of accountability. Man, I lost whatever. Right? Like why didn't they do this? Because if I bet on somebody else doing something and they don't follow through, I could blame them for I ultimately didn't do it. I just put my money on it. There's no accountability for me. But if I'm going to bet on me, there's some accountability. I gotta follow through. And it's easier to bet on others because of accountability. So betting on yourself is a form of self-love because it tells you I believe in you. But the hardest part about it is it requires you to be accountable to the bet that you're making. That's the tough part for me. And I think that's the tough part for all of us as humans, is that it requires accountability. It requires follow through. It requires discipline. The only way, and here, let's go back to these numbers really quick. When you think about it being 47 to 53, the only way you get that 53%, the only way that you win out in the long run is if you stay accountable. That's it. You might have to take 47 L's. You might. But in order for you to get them 53 wins, you have to stay accountable. You have to keep showing up. You have to be able to face your fears. You have to be able to say, you know what? I still believe in you even when you take an L. You know how hard it is to look yourself in the mirror and say, I still believe in you even when you take an L? I still believe in you even when you didn't do what you said you was going to do? I still believe in you even when you embarrassed yourself? I still believe in you even when it doesn't feel good? Can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I still believe in you, even if, and you fill in the blank. That's what betting on yourself is all about. It's saying, I'm going to hold myself accountable to keep going. I'm going to hold myself accountable to stay consistent. I'm going to hold myself accountable to being disciplined. I'm going to hold myself accountable for showing up for me. I want you to show up for you. I want you to bet on yourself because everything you need to succeed is already inside of you. And the only way it comes out is if you bet on yourself. If you don't bet on yourself, all the goods that are in your bag, they won't come out. They literally won't. They will stay inside of you. You will never expand. Your comfort zone will stay small. Your purpose will stay exactly how it was given to you. It'll never reach your potential. The only way we get there is by saying, you know what? I'm willing to take a risk on me. But you got to believe in you first. And this is where self-esteem and self-worth and how we see ourselves and self-love comes into play. Is because if I don't really rock with me, I'm not going to take the opportunity to take a risk. So here's what I want you to think about. When we commit to betting on ourselves, when we commit to buying into self-love, it's showing up for you in every season. Whenever I hear multiple other people talking about, man, I just had to take that bet on myself. It's simply just saying, I'm going to show up for me. So I'm asking you to show up for you. And that looks different for every single person in every season of life. Showing up for you is not an easy thing to do. But if we can find a cadence that allows us to be consistent, that's what's going to get you to that 53 versus that 47. And so here's the thing that I want you to do. I want you to get, and this is going to sound funky, but I'm okay with it. I want you to get addicted to betting on yourself. The same way that people are addicted to betting on others, I want you to become so obsessed and addicted with betting on you that it's just second nature. That your thought process, the second you hear something, you're like, oh yeah, absolutely, I'll do it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna face my fear and I'm gonna get free with fear. I'm gonna do that thing because I'm somebody who bets on me. Are you someone who bets on you? Can you become addicted with challenging yourself to be better, to be your best, to going after it, to feeling that sense of failure? And that only happens by being willing to take the risk. That only happens through embracing the challenge. That only happens through saying, you know what? I'm going to do it. And being okay with it. Because you can't win if you don't play. That's in gambling, real gambling with money and sports and all of that. But that's also gambling in life. You cannot win if you don't play. You will not be able to live out your purpose with confidence if you don't bet. And one way that we learn how to bet is by getting real with understanding is how do I add value? If we don't know how we add value, it's going to be hard to be able to bet on ourselves. So think about it like this. Somebody who may be betting on any sports team, they're going to be familiar with like, okay, I know that this player, he does that, and they do that, and that do that, do whoop, whoop. They could tell you all the things that's going on because they're aware of how that person adds value. They're aware of what's going on. I need you to be aware of how you add value. Because when you're aware of how you add value, it increases your ability to believe in you. And when you increase your ability to believe in you, it increases your willingness to bet on you. And when you increase the amount of bets that you have on you, it increases your probability of winning. We want you to win. I want you to win. But you can only do that if you're aware of how you add value. And then the G in bet on yourself, or the G in you or the bag, is give it your all. Don't go out here and be like, okay, cool, I'm going to bet. I'm going to be easy with it. No. If you going to bet, bet. If you going to do it big. Now, let me take a step back because everybody has to start somewhere. So for some folks, one little bet is enough for the moment. But you have to identify what that looks like for you because it's different for everybody in every season. For you, it may be going back to school. That's a big bet. That's a huge bet. But in that bet, it may be, I'm going to take one class. That's it. I'm going to take a bet by going back to school and I'm going to take one class. Because here's the thing when it comes to betting is you have to feel the satisfaction of winning. You have to feel the satisfaction of doing it. You have to be excited about the possibilities, right? Because when you think about betting, there's like, I know I might lose, but I also could win. I need you to have that same thought process when it comes to living out your purpose. I know I'm going to take an L, but I know I have the ability to win. And it's the possibility that provides the dopamines in our brain that keep people attached to it. It's the thrill, it's the excitement. I want you to get excited about the possibilities of your life. I want you to get excited about all the amazing things that you could do. And if you hear me say that and you're like, nah, not for me, that's the first place we have to start, is our mindset. Because remember, how you think about anything impacts how you feel, which influences how you behave. So if I'm saying this, you're like, nah, that's not for me, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Then that's the first place we have to start. We have to start with betting on changing your mindset. We have to start with, how do we expand our mindset? How do we create a growth mindset that allows us to believe that you're somebody who can be better? That's it. Can we to get addicted to being our best selves, to be excited about the life that we have the ability to live, and giving it your all. So maybe it's going back to school. Maybe it's starting a gig, becoming an entrepreneur. Like folks say, like a side hustle. Maybe it's mending a relationship. Who knows what it may be? Everybody's bets look different, but life is a game. And one of the worst things you can do is gamble that joint away and fumble the bag by not betting on you. So that's what I want you to think about. So here are 3 things, maybe 4. Let me give you 4. Here are 4 things that I want you to do when it comes to betting on you. Number 1, I need you to acknowledge the fear. Betting is scary. Why? Because there's a risk of losing. But remember, when you're the better and you're the house, because you are the bag, you're always going to win out the longer you bet. 100%. But we have to be able to acknowledge the fear. You're going to take some L's. We know that. And that's okay. Because the longer you play, the better you get, the more reps you have, the more confidence you have, the bigger the bets, the bigger the win. It takes money to make money, baby. So it's the same exact thought process. But we have to first acknowledge the fear. Then I want you to write down a list of what are all the areas, and you can think through this through the lens of goals, accomplishments, however you want to think about it. But what are some areas in my life that I'm thinking about it, but it scares me? My favorite way to say this is when you're setting a goal and you're setting out to do something, you want to think about it this way. It should make you smile and it should scare you. Anything that you set out to do should do 2 things. It should make you smile and it should scare you. Because if it gives you organic energy, it's going to automatically make you smile just thinking about doing that thing. And then the second piece, like, ooh, that's kind of scary though. And it's scary, but it's the right amount of scary. It's the amount of scary that challenges you to expand your comfort zone and say, okay, I want to do this thing because it would be so dope to do it. But it scares me because it makes me feel, when you have both of those feelings, that smile and that scare, that's how you know you're exactly where you're supposed to be when it comes to setting a goal or trying to achieve something. It's got to do those 2 things. If it makes you smile, but it don't scare you a little bit, then you're not challenging yourself. We have to have a sense of challenge in order for our confidence to grow, in order for us to leverage our resilience, in order for us to expand ourselves, in order for the bet to feel worth it, there has to have a sense of challenge. That's why it needs to be those 2 things. So write it down, make a list. And then when you think about them and you read the list, if it doesn't, and this isn't forced, it just has to happen. If it don't just happen, then it's not good enough. Scratch that joint off, save it for another season of life. Okay. So acknowledge the fear, write down the list, and then do a risk assessment. Now, the risk assessment is, what will you lose if you pursue this thing? What do you have to lose? Again, depending on the area that you want to bet on, is going to impact what you have to lose. So if you are trying to go back to school and what you potentially have to lose may be some time in the short run. It may be, who knows, right? Depends on you, where you're at in the season of your life. But going back to school is scary. Going to school in general is scary. It addresses so many different internal insecurities. I get it. Going back to school is hard. Don't let this doctor in front of my name fool you. That joint is scary and it's hard and it doesn't feel good. But I took the bet, and the bet is paying off in dividends. So you have to be able to acknowledge two things. When you're going to bet on yourself, the first piece is, does it make me smile? And does it scare me? It has to pass that test. The second piece is, when you recognize that it scares you, you have to acknowledge the fear. When we acknowledge the fear, this allows us to get that much more real and get to the root. The third thing, I know I said two, but the third thing is this. What do I have to lose if I pursue this? What am I losing? And then the fourth piece is, what do I gain if I win? So I'm going to say that again. When you're going to bet on yourself, here are the things that I need you to think about. The first thing is this. It has to make you smile, and it has to scare you. It has to scare you because scaring you provides challenge. Think about that. The second piece is, you have to be able to acknowledge the fear from the scare. When you're able to acknowledge the fear that comes up with the scare, that allows you to get to the root so you can get free with fear. The third thing is, now that we know what that is, what do we have to lose? If you take this bet, what am I going to lose if loss happens? Is it time? Is it money? Is it energy? Is it friendships? What am I going to lose if I take this bet? And the fourth piece that we have to land on is, what will I win? What's the come up? Because with betting, it's all about possibilities. It's like, yeah, you gonna take some L's, but we playing because we want to win. We making this bet because we want to win. So what do I have to win? What do I get out of doing this? And then the reason why it's the fourth one is because it takes us all the way back full circle to the smile. You have to think about, but what do I have to win? What do I get to win? What it comes out of this? And that's what makes you smile. And then that's the thing that helps drive our hope when we bet. When we make bets on ourselves, on others, whatever it may be, there's a sense of hope. I hope I win. Your hope is going to be the thing that anchors you and drives you all the way through. Your hope is going to be the thing that helps you stay motivated. The scare and challenge is going to be the thing that helps you stay motivated, because it has to challenge us if it's going to grow us. So I want you to understand that all these things, they all matter when it comes to placing bets on yourself. And because you are the bag, everything you need to succeed is already inside of you. You just have to be able to place the bet. You just have to be willing to take the risk. And because you are the bag, you're up 53-47. It's going to be 47 L's, but you're the bag. So you're going to get 53 dubs out of that 100. Expect to take some L's. Expect to be challenged. Expect to hit friction. Expect to fail. Expect it. Get to it. Get through it. And then say, but I'm going to get 53 out of this. And the more that you compound, the bigger your belief will get, the more energy you'll have, the more life satisfaction you'll have, the more confidence you'll have, the more resilience you'll have, the more accountability, discipline, consistency, the higher performer you'll be. All of those things will continue to compound and roll in your direction. And I want that for you. So here's what I need you to do. 2 things. Number 1, take action. That's it. After you have that list down, you do your risk assessment. You understand that it makes you smile. It scares you. You acknowledge the fear. You know what you have to lose, and you also know what you have to gain. Take action on one of those things on the list. I don't care what it is, but take action. It can be super small. Make it. And actually, matter of fact, I encourage you to start small, because when you start small, that helps you get your energy up. Okay, cool. Did it. Little baby L, maybe. Or baby dub. You might get you a baby L and a baby dub. Get it. Cool. Then get in the game. And then just keep rocking, rolling, and moving. but you have to do something that allows you to catch momentum, because it's not about losing. It's about the ability to play and to keep playing. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's March Madness. A little bit different of a situation because once you lose, you're out and it's done. But the thrill is just being able to show up and play, just being able to be a part of it. And I'm sure the sports betting right now is going crazy. But the excitement for you should just come from doing it. And what I'm talking about is intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivation. Is when you get that organic smile from thinking about that thing in that area that you want to bet on yourself on, that means intrinsically it makes you happy, which is connected to organic energy, which is why that's exactly where I want you to start. Because when you are intrinsically driven by something, it's going to increase your ability to stay connected. It's going to increase your ability to stay hopeful, which is going to increase your resilience, which is why you're rich in resilience. So the last thing, you got to have some fun. You got to have fun. Whatever area in your life that you want to bet on yourself, you have to make sure that it matters to you. It can't be about nobody else. It has to matter to you. This needs to be a constructively selfish area that you just, when you think about it, it makes you smile. It makes you happy. You have to get internal joy from whatever it may be. You have to have fun with it. You have to be able to enjoy it. It has to make you smile. It has to matter to you. Yes, it could have positive impacts on other people. And yes, it can bring joy to other folks, all that other stuff. But you just have to be like, I just want to be here. I just want to be around it. I would do whatever this is for free. That's that. That's how we know it's passion led. That's how we know it's purpose led. That's how we know it's connected to you and it's a part of your being as a person. So have fun with whatever it is, because you deserve to live your confident life taking bets on you. Because if you don't, who will? Because the adverse is also true. The less you bet on you, the less other people will bet on you. Especially the older you get. The older you get, the less people will say, I don't know. So wherever you're at right now, regardless of how old you are, whatever it is that you're doing, if you are listening to this, that's the first bet that you're taking. I want you to take you serious. I want you to say, I'm going to do the thing, and I'm going to do it at the entry level, so you can get your feet wet, so you can start to just feel what it feels like. I'm going to start with the penny slots. Make a penny slot bet on you. Then work your way up to the nickels. Then I'm going to work my way up to just maybe $1. And then you work your way up to the big game, to the big dance. I don't gamble, so I don't know. I think those things exist. But that's it. That's it when it comes to life. Is betting on yourself is one of the highest forms of self-love, but it also requires one of the toughest forms of self-love, which is accountability. But you deserve to show yourself love in both of those ways. You deserve to feel and experience what it feels like to know I got this, to have that sense of belief that I can do this. Even if I take an L, I'm coming right back. That's that resilience. That's that mindset. And then to also know I can hold myself accountable. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to be able to face the fear and get free with fear and do that. You deserve to know what it feels like internally to experience all of those things. I want that for you. And I want you to want it for you. You deserve it because you are the bag. So that means bet on yourself, figure out how to add value, and do all you can to give it your all. I believe in you. I love you. Until next time. Peace.